It's May 14th, Mother's Day. I'm checking out my peach tree, and the little baby peaches are certainly getting big. They're all over the place. I have some netting that I'm gonna drape over the tree to make sure that the squirrels will not eat these. I pulled out all the kale. They were basically going to seeds. They were flowering. And I planted some kohlrabi and some jalapeno peppers. The other beds are doing pretty well. Calendula is flowering already. It's beautiful. And all the other stuff in here is growing nicely. Parsnips look good, growing nicely. Not everything took, but most of them took. Especially this row is good. Potatoes, nice and tall. They're about a foot tall, or even more. The peas have all germinated, and the plants that I put in here are getting tall and climbing up. The onions are doing good. I do see some bulbing already. I gotta weed this bed soon. Here are the other tomatoes. We did have a frosty night last week. I think they did okay, except these early girls are a little bit weak. And hopefully they will survive. Here's another calendula. So what I'm doing now is tying up these tomatoes in this bed as well. I planted the beans. I did have some seedlings that I started at home, and the rest I just stuck in the beans all along this row. So the tomatoes again doubled up in their size, so they're doing pretty well. Here are the beets. I don't know about this side of the bed, these little onions from seed, not really growing well, but these onions are doing well. There's one that looks like it's going to seed already. The sweet potatoes looks like did not do well in the frost. They're kind of brown. And I don't know about the squash, the butternut squash. It's kind of yellowish. But that's how they started out last year too, so I don't know if any of these will do well. However, in this bed, it is yellow, but that's a little bigger. So the different beds do make a difference. I already tied these tomatoes up. These are huge. Some of them are 3 feet tall. So this bed is really good for them. And here we have the basil growing as well. More beets. Some of these are not beets. Some of these are weeds, I think. I'll come around and weed those. Cabbage is still growing. It's kind of yellowish. And here are the carrots with some tiny onions in between that are trying to grow. I think this will be this plant that is growing on its own. It's probably going to be some kind of berry, so I'm just going to leave it there. Here's the pepper bed. Also needs to be weeded, but I think it's doing well. That's it. That's about the garden. I'm going to start on the barrel today. I'm going to make the holes on it and put the faucet on it. And here's the netting for my fruit tree. Hopefully it's not too heavy, but at least it's gonna keep the critters out of my peach tree. So wrapped up the peach tree with this netting, and hopefully this is not gonna prevent the peaches to ripen, but it's better than nothing. So I'm working on the barrel. What I did is I drilled a 1 1/3 inch large hole, a couple of inches up from the bottom, and this happens to be a closed top barrel, so I just opened the 2 openings here, so I have some room to work in. I took a rope and tied a heavy object to it, and then I dropped it in this small hole. I tipped the barrel over and it came out through this hole. So I had one end of the rope coming out here, the other end of the rope was coming out of here. I took this fitting and I tied it to this end of the rope, and I pulled it back up to the small hole. I caught it with my finger and I just held it up like that, and then I got the nut outside and tightened it. So that's how you get the fitting in here if you don't have an open top barrel like I don't. The next thing I'm going to do is attach the faucet, and I'm going to put on some Teflon tape just to make it tight. So the fitting for the faucet is very simple. This happens to be a 3/4 inch male. Okay. And that end is going to go into the barrel, and then on the other end I have, which is the faucet where the water comes out, I have a timer attached. So I'll put that on.